All the voices in my head getting louder. They told me not to tell you, but they're itching for the powder. Got that blurry vision, seeing double. Yeah, I love you, but you're all trouble. I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it. Carved a couple holes in my heart, so fuck it. And with all the chemicals, whoa, now falling too far, falling too far. I keep going back to you. No more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more. Bad habit, yeah, the bad habit.
Came in and you're looking like a sign of grace. I know, but I can never match your name, your face, my fault. I didn't notice it was out of place. You painted fairy tales on the wall. Calling to the better of the halves of me. Please show me just a little bit of honesty. I hope I got a heart that I can salvage, but it's getting harder now to recall.
Hello and welcome everybody to another wonderful round brought to you by the Sausage Dodgers Racing League, folks. We're in for a special treat tonight. We're racing at one of the most iconic venues in all of racing history. This is going to be the Circuit de la Sarthe. We're racing around Le Mans for the first time in Sausage Dodgers history on the broadcast, at the very least. This is going to be a very exciting time, and boy, oh boy, are we in for a special treat. We've got so many drivers gridded up right now. It is filling up like mad. The drivers are finally setting their qualifying laps right now. Without any further delay, let's go check out what Mark Richards is all up to right now as he sets a provisional pole time. Gets quickly bumped back in that number 420 back to P5. Andrew Kenny takes provisional pole in front of Ashley Evans. Tim Williams finds P3. Francisco Cardullo into P4. Mark Richards gets bumped down to P6 as Jack Kraft comes into P2. Leslie Simpkins into P4 as they cross the line. Alessandro Deladone into P3. Mikhail Kilber into P4. MJ Reed now into P5. Leslie Simpkins resets, heads out of pit road. Will they have enough time to get another lap in? I'm not sure. It's going to be very, very quick. Okay, they start at the back of the chicane at the Porsche curves, so they will be able to get another valid lap in, but the tires will be very cold for Leslie Simpkins. Let's go on board and see what they have to say about this lap. Coming in towards turn one, that's all looking good on the quick and heavy, all the way to the far left-hand side, crossing over to the inside line early off of the throttle, and then getting back onto the throttle kind of in the middle of the chicane to balance out the car, and then crisscross applesauce all the way through the chicane, punching all the way under the Dunlop bridge and into the next set of curbs. And then there's a loose Porsche for Leslie Simpkins through the Dunlop curves, and that will be it for their qualifying run. P7 is all they wrote there. Let's see who else is still out on a lap currently running. Oh my goodness, everybody resting in pit lane. That gives us time to look at the race info that we have. This is the Endurance Tour. This is actually round 2. And nothing got updated. Okay. This is actually round 2 at Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. Keys to the race, though, are going to be true at the Circuit de la Sarthe or Le Mans circuit. The configuration will be the full track. We are in France. We are at Le Mans. Track length of 13.55 kilometers. That's going to be roughly how many miles for those of us in cheeseburger meters? 8.48 miles or 1,565 Big Macs long. Temperature 25 degrees Celsius, altitude 33 meters. Keys to the race are true. Maximize your exits coming out of these corners. They typically lead onto long and hefty straightaways. So you're going to want to take care of all of your exits very carefully here at Le Mans. Hit your brake mark early and try to coast into these corners and then use your throttle to rotate the car as much as possible. Roll onto the throttle carefully coming out of those corners. Trust your downforce as well coming through the Porsche curves. Mark Richards goes up into provisional P2. Eight tenths off the mark. Mark Richards, just in the nick of time, finds time through sector 2, it looks like. Mark Richards pulls out all the stops and is able to get a phenomenal run of things. Mark Richards might have a chance to challenge Noah Osbaldeston. There goes Alejandro Deladone into provisional pole. 3:55.60 just nearly beats out Osbaldeston by a tenth and a bit. There we go. Mark Richards, that 1 second back. And then we've got a gaggle of cars in that 1 second back pack. Up, up, up. Yeah. And that will actually conclude the qualifying session. The 10 minutes run has ended. Will we get bonus time or not? I don't think we are. Marco says via Ali. So cheers for Alejandro Deladone, it seems. And the grid is officially set. Let's see if we can get a look at the grid. There we go. Alejandro Deladone in P1. Alejandro Tessitore into P2. Excuse me, just in the nick of time. Noah Osbaldeston into P3. Mark Richards in P4. Andrew Kenny in P5. Jack Croft, Mikhail, I'm not even going to try, in 7th. Jack McCarthy in 8th. Francisco in 9th. Simone in 10th. Matthew Clark in 11th. William B. Graham in 12th. MJ Reed in 13th. Leslie Simpkins in 14th there. Ashley Evans, Tim Williams in 16th. Oscar Corbett in 17th. Claudio Bustinelli in 18th. 19th for Chris Carr. Zhao Marquez in 20th. Stephen Codman, Andrea Pizzetti in 22nd. Nick Ewers in 23rd. Valero Petretti in 24th. Massimio Lioli, Vincenzo Stagnio in 26th. Joel Liha, Kevin Barry. And that'll actually round things out because we're ready to go green flag racing, folks. The race is upon us. And we are green flag running officially. That was a standing start. I apologize profusely. Thought we were going to get a rolling start here, but no, oh no, we've got a gaggle of cars coming through the midfield, and it is a cluster to say the least, as the cars are all getting bunched up. And whom is that? That is Andrew Kenny tumbling down the order right now, and it's not looking good for him as things are settling in very unorthodoxly. Just a little bit of ping connection issues, it would seem. I apologize for that, folks, but it's single file line. Noah Osbaldeston leads over Deladone. Alejandro Tessitore into P3. Mark Richards into P4. Francisco Cardulo into P4. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened for the battle for the lead. Going down in towards turn one, because there was an opportunity to make that move, but wasn't an opportunity that was going to stick. As we see Deladone look at the back at Osbaldeston here. Wanting to pounce, but not actually going for a move. Side-by-side maneuvers here in the background, as Lelio goes for an attacking move on Barry, but has Gabati behind him, the number 81 machinery. Ashley Elvin side by side in a little bit of a tussle right now with William B. Graham, leaving him in the dust, but Mr. Tim Williams has something to say about that. Looks to the inside line here, and will go completely side by side with that white Porsche, but now gets fully in front of William B. Graham, it would seem. I'm sorry, I was in Italian for Alejandro Tessitore. Okay. Cheers for the third place driver right now, as we have more side-by-side action leading down in towards Indianapolis, but that's going to have to conclude itself because Indy isn't really a place where you want to go side-by-side, especially in these machineries. So single file line there. Tim Williams in front of William B. Graham. Still battle for the lead, changes or continues to charge on through the Porsche curves. Really a five-way squabble here between Noah Osbaldeston, Alejandro Deladone, and Alejandro Tessitore, Mark Richards in tow, and Francisco Cardillo, who's gained 4 positions on the good for the evening so far. Running very well for himself. It's a 3/10 seconds of a gap currently. And expect to see some retorts here eventually, as we see drivers challenging for position here. Is that Mr. Mark Richards in that 420 Sausage Dodgers machinery? It seems like we have lost connection with iRacing. Stand by, folks. Just checking to see if the server will come back or not, but it's seemingly like we're in a replay. So stand by, folks. We'll be right back.
A blurry sunrise dawning, while we always up to the next day morning. And with all the chemicals worn out, made me feel good now. I be drowning in you, so thirsty. Couldn't care less how much it hurts me. Alright, but I'ma bite back now. Make you fall back. I keep going back to you. No more, no more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more, no more. You're like a bad habit. You're like a bad habit. Back to you. No more, no more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more, no more. You're like a bad habit. You're like a bad habit. All the voices in my head getting louder. They told me not to tell you, but they're itching for the powder. Got that blurry.
Now, as much as I do love that song, we have to get back to the racing action here at Le Mans, folks. We're back. The battle for P1 is spicy with Noah Osbaldeston leading Alejandro Della Done, Mark Richards in tow as well. Good, fierce battles all around the racetrack. A look to the inside line through the chicane, and it's going to be the 104 trying to charge its way through, and it is charging its way through. Chris Carr with a double move overtake right there, gets past Valerio Petriti real quick, and Bossinelli. Chris Carr up 9 positions on the good tonight. Yellow flag there for Ashley Evans, the 2K I-rated driver, getting a slowdown penalty. We'll have to yield down the Mousseline straight. Beautiful Sprite livery from Ashley Evans. That's a good looking car. Side-by-side up-ahead battle between Tim Williams and William B. Graham, as they're not settled their debate yet at who deserves 7th position. It looks like William B. Graham succeeds the position for now, and Mr. Tim Williams is able to walk his way forward. Noah Osbaldeston still under threat from Alejandro Della Done here. And that battle really not settling itself at the Mulsanne corner. Now Noah Osbaldeston to the inside line. It'll be the outside line for Della Done. Will it be a run towards Indy that concludes this battle? On the inside line is the defensive line, but it'll be the outside line going through Indy into the following corner. It will be the inside line again for Noah Osbaldeston, and they almost touch. The number 30 overlaps just a little bit there coming out of the final corner of that complex, and the 38 the leads of Noah Osbaldeston. All this battling has brought together a beautiful pack of cars into each other, into the Porsche curves now. This is a very spicy and dangerous place for an overtake to take place, but they're going to go completely side by side through the curves. Under the Michelin bridge we go. The number 30 to the inside line, overlaps to the outside line. A kiss of the curves for Osbaldeston, and he goes airborne for it in just a moment. Now it's Mark Richards who's involved in this, but now Della Done loses out. Traction there through the Porsche curve, spins out, and that'll conclude his championship run. Noah Osbaldeston inherits P1 successfully through that battle. Now it's up to Mark Richards, the Sausage Dodgers driver, to challenge Osbaldeston, or can Tessitore bring it back home? The Sausage Dodgers has the run going in towards turn 1. Mark Richards now in the lead of the Porsche Cup League race. And remember, we do have another heat coming up after this, but it will be a reverse grid format, folks. So things are about to get a little bit spicier. Mark Richards trying to defend as much as possible, driving that number 420. Noah Osbaldeston giving him a little bit of a bump draft coming down the Mulsanne straight. Side by side between the two Alejandros, Tessitore and Della Done. That can only be Juan. João Marquez side by side going into the chicane. The 24 inside carries the speed through the 14 with a tiny bit of a lockup there. Mark Richards still under attack from Noah Osbaldeston. This is lap 4 of 5 in heat 1 currently. Evening, Mr. Andrew Kesserton. It looks like Osbaldeston falls back just a little bit. Tessitore now into the mix in P3, the Italian man. Spicy battle further away back as well, but we got to keep an eye on the battle for the lead right now as the overlap is there. Osbaldeston on the inside carries a lot of speed with the draft. 2-for-1 special. Mark Richards falls back into P3. Tessitore goes forward into P2 on that run. The Italian man in the final closing minutes of this event finds a way through. Three-way squabble here for the drivers coming out of Indianapolis and in through Arnage. Buccinelli battling with Ashley Evans, the Sprite car driver. And they're on their way into Indianapolis now. And into the Porsche curves, excuse me. Mark Richards not done with this battle yet. And on the recovery drive, Deladone is back in the mix. Leading down in towards turn one, the number 30 is there, very present and alive. Looks to the inside of Mark Richards. Will he get the overlap? Will he get the move done and dusted? He does get it dusted, but will Mark Richards challenge back? He does, and they almost touch. What excellent racing here at the Sausage Dodgers Racing League. .420 still in third place, one position gained on the evening. Deladone down 3. Still has a few minutes to settle this debate. Mark Richards wants P2 back. Three-way squabble coming down into the first chicane. Now, who has the speed? Who's got the momentum? Who's got the overdrive now? Mark Richards with the draft, shakes it out, looks to the inside line. The 420 of Mark Richards tries to pull out the run of things. Now, will this be the 30 also looking to get involved coming into the second chicane? No, the 420 does get the advantage, but goes a little bit deep and wide, and now carrying the speed. The number 30's got to give the bump and run to the number 420 right now to help them out coming into the Mulsanne corner. The bump draft is given. The bump draft is given. It is going to be a three-way squabble. The number 30 gives it and boxes out Tessitore. And Deladone goes forward on this occasion. Now it is still going to be a three-way menage a trois between these drivers. The battle for P2 is not settled yet. Boxing in the 04 of Tessitore. Mark Richards doing a good job to defend P3 as much as possible. Through Indy we go, and Tessitore loses it coming out of Indy. A little kiss of the kitty litter there. Now we still got a two-way squabble between the wall. We almost go, the 420. Holy Toledo. Two-way squabble for P2, P3, two-way squabble for P4, P5 in the closing 60 seconds of this event. On to lap 5 we are, and this will be the final stage of this heat. The number 30 attacking the curbs like a fierce attacker. Knows this is the last lap. knows that this is his final opportunity to get one done on Osbadelsson, but he's too fast. He's too furious. He's carrying too much speed and momentum. Osbadelsson cannot be stopped. On this occasion, goes airborne, but spins out before the line, and it will be Deladone. Mark Richards to the third for the podium. Osbadelsson loses it as he tries to go airborne, coming through the final chicane, pushing a little too hard. Holy smokes! Deladone with the victory. Mark Richards in P2 and Sarthe in P3. Holy Toledo. Drivers still concluding their laps right now. A little bit of a run now from Girardin, and this is going to be William Ewart challenging each other right now. They approach the Porsche curves now. Side by side, nasty stuff from the 25 Red Bull driver. Falls back though, William Ewart. Carrying a lot of speed, goes deep and wide through the Porsche curves. Obviously not familiar with driving offline at this track. Especially side by side, it is a very different strategy here. And that will conclude the race, folks. Let's see if we can get the results up on the board. Once all the drivers have crossed the line, because I believe we still have a few more drivers still out there. Joel Leah, Michael Phipps, Simone Hutchings, Giovanni Marcato, Leslie Simpkins, and Massimo Leoli. All crossing the line now, and that Sausage Dodgers machinery has seen some better days, but recovery drive for heat number 2, though, as we will see the drivers come back out and do more laps here at the Sausage Dodgers Porsche Cup. So welcome to the Circuit de la Sarthe. Welcome to the 24 hours of Le Mans. Welcome to the Sausage Dodgers, folks. I'm your host, Saagar Bakshi, aka The Real High. And we're getting ready for Heat 2 right now. We've got a 5-minute warm-up here. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back in 5 minutes' time. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the sights and sounds of Le Mans as the drivers go around the circuit. And we are officially done with the warm-up, folks, and we're ready to get gridded up. We do have a reverse grid for you. This will be a little bit different than what we had in store last time out. So keep an eye on the grid for this event. Let's see if we can get through it very quick. Valerio Petretti in P1, William Graham in P2, Ashley Evans in third, Chris Carr in fourth, Tim Williams in fifth, Noah Osbaldeston in P6, Francisco Cardulo in P7, Alejandro Tessitore in P8, Mark Richards in ninth, Della Doan in P10, Boccanelli in P11, Matthew Clark in P12. Jack McCarthy, João Marquez, Mauro Gaberi, Vincenzo Stagnito, Kodazi Jr., Kevin Barry, MJ Reed, Oscar Corbett, Andrew Kenny, Simone Darsh, Nick Ewers, Paolo Manitti. Get through these. Alejandro Girardin, William Ewert, Joel Leha, Michael Pips, Simone Hutchings, Giovanni Marcato, Leslie Simpkins, Massimo Lioli, Jack Kraft, Andrea Pizzetti, Mikhail Klibor, and Stephen Codeman. Rounding out the 36 drivers that we have here tonight. 37, Melvin Zerman being the last of the best of the rest. And now we are ready to go racing. The drivers officially gridded up. We have gone through our grid standings. That was a very, very exciting race one. Now we're ready for the feature event, folks. And green, 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 away we go, leading down and towards turn one. It will be the 29 leading us there, but Ashley Evans loses out position to Chris Carr already into that lead down towards turn one, and maybe losing out more positions as they get caught up in a gaggle. But the 104 tries to challenge forward, does challenge forward successfully, finds P2. Chris Carr on a good run of things right now, doing a really great job of keeping it calm, cool, and collected. All the drivers on the grid keeping it calm, cool, and collected, except for this guy right here. Deladone can't keep it together right now because he's gaining 2 positions on the grid for the evening, as well as Mark Richards. Noah Osbaldeston up 3 already, up into P3, starting from P6. A 3-way squabble back here between Mark Richards, Della Doan, and Ashley Evans. The squabble continues, almost 4 wide, coming down the Mulsanne straight, and they're going to go argy-bargy, elbows out, and bumpy-bangy their way through, and that will be Della Doan with 2 positions gained, but falling way back to the Wayfair on this run into the first chicane. The 420 does get that position around Ashley Evans. That's Mark Richards on the gain for the evening. 797 of Mr. Tim Williams is on a good run of things tonight, running into P3, but the 38 trying to shake things up, looks to the inside line, going to the next chicane. The 30 charges his way through, and that is going to be a little bit of argy-bargy, elbows out racing. That number 30 is going to have to yield a ton of time. That's Della Doan, who was being a little optimistic there going through that second chicane, now yields all of that time and the positions back to the drivers around, but Mr. Tim Williams already has the damage done to his name as he falls back into P10. Chris Carr up into the lead of the event, gets around Valero Petretti. Chris Carr having a great run of things tonight. Holy good for Chris Carr right now. A 69 tenths 69 hundredths of a gap, excuse me. Ashley Evans in a battle with William Graham. They're both down 3 positions already, trying to change things up. Ashley Evans already on a recovery drive for the evening into Indianapolis, secures P5 for now. William Graham, though, still on the attack, but under threat from Cardullo from behind. A couple drivers heading wide at Indy, kicking up a couple of puffs of the kitty litter there. And that will be Cardullo on the attack to Ashley Evans. Chris Carr under attack from Petretti right now. Into the Porsche curves for the first time of asking we go through, but it will be Chris Carr in the lead ahead of Petretti. Squabble here is between William Graham, Francisco Cardullo, and Tessitore. And we have a pit stop call already. Chris Carr gets a yellow flag for track limits, I believe, coming through turn 1. Mark Richards, Noah Osbaldeston giving us the same show that we got earlier. Oh, and the 38 makes a move on the 104. That's Noah Osbaldeston shaking things up on the leader, Chris Carr, right now. But Chris doesn't want to shake up, doesn't want to let go, doesn't want to give up just yet. With the 38, can see the writing on the wall. It's only a matter of time. Coming out of Tete Rouge into the first chicane. There's mayhem and chaos for the Martini car. The 104 of Chris Carr is deleted. .797 of Tim Williams trying to find a way through or past Matthew Clark, but sees the squabble up ahead, doesn't want to get involved in too much argy-bargy stuff because the 50 and the 75 are wheel-to-wheel right now. Matthew Clark and Francisco Cardullo all in this battle with each other. 4 wide coming down the Mulsanne straight into the second chicane we go. 797 gets the advancement done. That's Mr. Tim Williams over the number 50. MJ Reed gets a wheel well along the inside of that number 30 of Belladone. Into the Mulsanne corner. Whoa! And Ashley Evans loses out in that Sprite number 6. Coming into the Mulsanne corner, must have gone a little wide, spun out. That number 6, worse for wear right now. Tessitore in a battle with Mr. Tim Williams and Matthew Clark. This is the run down towards Indy. No, Osbaldeston still under threat, really, from Mark Richards. 3/10 is nothing here at Le Mans, the Circuit de la Sarthe. And it can all go wrong in one corner, one of the 38 corners here at Le Mans. Tessitore on the charge. Matthew Clark under threat. Look to the inside. Won't act on it just yet. Tessitore, the Italian driver, in the Italian flag colors. More pit stop calls. I believe that will be Ashley Evans and MJ Reed. Both involved in that accident coming out of the Monza corner. And there's another spin. And that'll be Simone Hutchings tumbling down the order. Coming out of the Ford chicane. Gaps finally settling down a little bit. Andrew Kenny chasing down João P. Marquez. And the number 14, Andrew Kenny, is up 5 positions tonight on the good. What about Tessitore? Tessitore, Matthew Clark. Run down to the first chicane, coming down the Mulsanne straight. The 0-4 has the inside line. Will it be enough, though, on the 5-0? Tessitore ahead by just a slight margin. Gets the lead ahead of the 5-0. Will secure the deal. Tessitore advances up into P6 with a little bit of a drift coming through that first chicane. Will lose the exit speed and momentum now. Under threat from the 5-0, who's going to have the inside line coming into the second chicane. Change for the lead. Mark Richards and Noah Osbaldeston going wheel to wheel here. And Mark Richards advances his position into first. The Sausage Dodgers racing driver into the second chicane there. Now Osbaldeston with the slipstream in the Porsche 992s. Very, very helpful stuff. Will he challenge going in towards Indy? I don't think so. Not on this occasion. In the background, so William Graham get past number 29 of Valerio Petretti. Clark and Tessitore not giving up on each other just yet. Mr. Tim Williams a little bit frustrated with the situation right now. Needs to get by one, if not both of them. And will Tim Williams actually do so on this occasion? It's carrying the speed and the slipstream from both vehicles right now. Into Indy won't be enough, though. Oh, and the 0-9 of Claudio Boccanelli battling it out with Deladone. 2x2 we go through Arnage. If they went 2x2 through Arnage, expect the same thing through the Porsche curves. Here we go. And they settle in for single file. That seems a little bit more likely. Jack McCarthy, Alejandro Girardin, and the number 11 trailing this duo right now. Noah Osbaldeston regains the lead in front of Mark Richards, leading down into the Ford chicane. But we've seen Noah Osbaldeston take too much of these curbs and lose it on the last lap He doesn't do it on this occasion, but we're halfway through this race, concluding lap 4 right now. Matthew Clark, Tim Williams, wheel to wheel through the Dunlop chicane. Tim Williams gets the advancement, though. He's still down 2 positions on the night right now. There's your gains on the leaderboard right now. Epic battles all around. Here's the Matthew Clark and Tim Williams squabble. Tim Williams still defending back from Matthew Clark. If they work together, they can challenge forward to Testatore. Here's the top speed of the drivers. At hand, Mark Richards with a greater top speed gets by Noah Osbaldeston coming down the straightaway. And if Tim Williams is listening right now, if Mark Richards is listening right now, he will know that he has the better top speed. Noah Osbaldeston, 6 kilometers per hour slower. In the Mulsanne corner, Matthew Clark gets one done on Mr. Tim Williams. Battle for the lead here turns into a 3-way. Mark Richards leads William Graham now into the lead. Number 32 into Indy leads for the first time of this event, but Mark Richards there on the inside line trying to defend, going the outside line through Arnage will not suffice because there is a wall there. William Graham leads this event, leading into the Porsche curves on lap 5. Lap 4, excuse me. We're concluding lap 4. Leads by just a quarter of a second. Let's check in with Oscar Corbett, who's in a battle with Andrew Kenny into the Porsche curves. Andrew Kenny gets by Jack McCarthy through the Porsche curves and into the Ford chicane. The Sausage Dodgers team will lead as Oscar Corbett trails along with them. Jack McCarthy loses 2 for 1 special. Andrew Kenny up 9 positions tonight. Oscar Corbett up 7 positions right now. William Graham only leads by a 10th, leading into the first chicane, and it's going to be an off for the number 32. And Noah Osbaldeston and Mark Richards are going to go side by side through the Dunlop chicane. No, Osbedelston under threat from the driver who is faster in a straight line. The 420 carries the overspeed, gets the security done, but overspeed through the corner. Drifterino Mark Richards is fighting his hardest. Last lap, best lap. 3:57.88 for Mark Richards. Noah Osbedelston 3:58.52 last time around. I think Andrew Kesterton is right. Go for it, 420. I think Mark Richards might have this one in the bag for the Sausage Dodgers team tonight. The statistics are looking good. We're on the halfway point of this event. Battles are still around Paolo Minetti. And Simone Hutchings going wheel to wheel. Simone Hutchings carrying the overspeed there. Oscar Corbett getting around Buccanelli. William Graham loses out 2 positions in the Mulsanne corner. Goes back into P3. No, excuse me, loses out to Francisco Cardulo, who is trying to challenge that position. William Graham, 75. Francisco Cardulo, 04 looks to the inside in the background. That's Tessitore, who's still in the mix here for a podium. Moving every which way, trying to find a line through. That one's not working this time around. William Graham has to defend from Tessitore, the 04 in the background. Pit stop calls are coming in now. 32 and the 29 battling right now. That will be William Graham and Valero Petretti. Drivers who pit, obviously splitting this one halfway down the middle, expecting around 25 minutes of running. So the lead drivers getting this last lap to run with the fuel that they have. A little bit of a wiggle there for the Sausage Dodgers leader. Noah Osbedelston has to check up. Coming through Dunlop. And the Tête de Rouge. Will it be enough of a run for the 38? The 420 has so much speed in a straight line. That 6 kilometers per hour is no joke. I think Noah, even with the slipstream, cannot get an advantage. My brain just farted for a moment. I apologize. Noah Osbedelston chasing down the 420, who's in the lead of this event, Mark Richards. 8 positions gained on the evening so far. 4 for Noah Osbedelston. William Graham's down 1. Valerio Petretti is down 3. Alejandro, though, Girardin up 20 positions right now. 24 for Jack Croft. Massimo Leoli up 22. Crazy gains. Still pit stops yet to come on the evening, folks. That will shake things up. Drivers making mistakes coming down pit road, making mistakes with their pit stop strategies. Perhaps losing heaps of time in the pit lane tower. Take a look at the drivers that have taken a pit stop. Everybody back from P11 down has taken a pit stop. William Graham gets passed by Valerio, but Noah Osbaldeston does challenge Mark Richards through Indy, gets the move done and dusted there. Thanks, JW. We really appreciate it. This is top class racing. Marco, yeah, love to get you involved with the Sausage Dodgers. Come check us out on Discord. Get yourself glued in to the action. Get yourself installed to your sim rig, Matthew Clark. And a little bit of a squabble right now. Leslie Simpkins leads this three-way. Paolo Minetti looking like he wanted to throw some dice at Joel Leha there, coming down and towards Indy. Pit stops are called at the 23-minute mark for Noah Osbaldeston, Mark Richards, Petretti, Graham, Girardin, Deladone, Corbett, Stagnito, and Kraft should be coming in next. There he goes. And Lioli. There we go. That's all top 11 drivers that will be pit stopping for this event. Side by side through the Porsche curves. 72 leads over the number 22 now. Coming out of pit lane, Noah Osbaldeston has nobody behind him. Alejandro Deladone advances up into P2. Valerio Petretti into P3. Tessitore into P4. Cardulo into P5 now. William Graham into P6. Mr. Tim Williams into P7. And what in the world has happened to Mark Richards, who's still in pit lane? What has happened to Mark Richards right now? Oh no, black flag for Mark Richards. Serving that penalty, going all the way down into P20. The fall from glory for Mark Richards. Tessitore with a big spin coming through the Mulsanne corner. No, excuse me, the first chicane. Tessitore falls to P5. I wonder if there was a touch there. See if we can get a replay of what happened. Looks like he's all by his lonesome right now. Does it all by himself. That was the Tessitore spin. Still 3 laps left to go. Tessitore can find a way forward. Mr. Tim Williams trying to challenge number 32, William Graham. The remaining pride and joy of the Sausage Dodgers here to defend the title. Mr. Tim Williams has to charge forward. He's down 2 positions on the evening already, but has Tessitore and William Graham in front of him. And Tessitore finds the defensive line. William Graham trying to defend. And Tim Williams also under threat. Or is that a back marker? That must be a back marker, because Claudio Boccanelli is 6.7 seconds back. So this car here should not be getting in the way of the leading duo. Is that the number 15 of MJ Reed? Yes, number 15 of MJ Reed here. And the gap's really settling in now with heat number 2 at Circuit de la Sarthe, or Le Mans. Want to give this time to say thank you very much to our Patreon subscribers, our Tier 1 and Tier 2 subscribers. Thank you so much for you guys' love and support to the Sausage Dodgers organization. You guys literally keep the lights on and keep the stream going, keep the servers online, keep this Discord server operational. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Leslie Simpkins, Andrew Kenny, and Mark Richards in that Tier 1 category. And in that Tier 2 category, we're going to have Mickey Phipps and Andrew Kesterton. So thank you so much to those Patreon subscribers in those tiers for your donations. Really appreciate it. I can't tell you from the bottom of my heart what it means to have supporters like you guys keep the lights on and keep us going. A little bit of a bump draft here from Leslie Simpkins into Pizzetti. 33 running into the 35, giving him a little bit of a overspeed there. I think 35 didn't know what to do with that momentum. Carried a little bit too much speed into the corner. But out of the corner is looking pretty apt. Oscar Corbett and Marquez leading down in the second chicane. The 14 holds the defensive line. 998 had the slipstream and the speed. The Sausage Dodgers driver of Oscar Corbett find a way through. Francisco Cardillo in P3 and Valero Petretti in P4. 0.8 of a second separate them currently, or 0.8 thousandths of a second separate them currently. Andrew Kenny and Oscar Corbett wheel to wheel for a moment into Indianapolis, single file line. The 998 leads the 8 over the number 14. And just 2 laps remaining in this event, folks. .356.3 rolling in from Noah Osbedelsson, his fast lap of the race. Can it be challenged by anybody further back? I don't think so. Deladone into P2. Cardullo into P3. Talk a little bit about the track and its history at Circuit de la Sarthe. Ashley Evans in 21st position right now as we look at William Graham, the Scottish driver, in the number 32. Opened in 1923, making it one of the oldest active racing circuits in the world. Le Mans was built specifically to test endurance, reliability, and innovation, not just your outright speed. Unlike purpose-built racetracks, 70% of the circuit uses public roads that reopen to normal traffic outside the race weeks of the 24 hours of Le Mans. It is the home of the 24 hours of Le Mans and endurance racing. Here comes the 32 of William Graham on the 104 of Tessitore. Trying to find the daylight there, but it's not in existence. Into the Mulsanne corner, though, it is in existence. 32 finds the daylight to find a way through on the 04. Tessitore loses as a position to William Graham. Tessitore is still up 2 positions on the good for the evening, but wants to get this position back on William Graham side by side. This is the run down towards Indianapolis, folks. Francisco Cardullo and Petretti still battling each other. That's the one up ahead that you can barely see a glimpse of. 3/10 is the gap there. This is a little bit closer here. .04 and the 32 are gonna go elbows out into Arnage. On the exit, the 04 has a decent run, but I think the 32 has a better run out. And 32 has a better top speed by nearly 10 kilometers per hour. And who's that in the mix? That's Mr. Tim Williams getting by William B. Graham. And the 797 driver, the remaining pride and joy of the Sausage Dodgers right now. Or I should say the leading Sausage Dodger, as Mark Richards got that black flag when he entered pit road. And Tessitore with a yellow flag will have to yield. Whoa, what a send from the 04! The 797 has to go wide, and the 32 goes elbows out, and the 797 goes round. Tim Williams has a huge incident at the Ford chicane. Replay of that incident coming up here. Tim Williams goes a little bit deep and wide, rejoins the racetrack right as the car behind, I believe that's William Graham, was taking the apex, and a collision that was avoidable takes place. Mr. Tim Williams loses a ton of ground. Leslie Simpkins now trying to find his way into the top 10 for the Sausage Dodgers. Buchanelli and Jack McCarthy wheel to wheel, but what about Francisco Cardullo here and Valero Petretti? This is the battle for the podium right now. This is the final lap of the event. I didn't even notice. Excuse me. Valero Petretti and Francisco Cardullo are going to go wheel to wheel, battling for this podium. Alejandro De La Done is right in front. The run down towards Indy is looking good for an overtake. The 29 makes a leaping dive, somehow manages to save it, bumps out the 75. They're going to lose some body work out of that argy-bargy action. And the 29 might have just secured P3, but at what cost to the 75? Now, the run through the final chicane. Noah Osbaldeston has it in the bag. Through the Porsche curves. Started from the back of the pack in P6. Into the Ford chicane for the final time of asking. Noah Osbaldeston hopefully doesn't loop it around this time. And it's all in a straight line for Noah Osbaldeston. And he'll take the checkered flag. Noah Osbaldeston takes P1. Alejandro De La Done still battling and defending from Valero Petretti. Cross the line in second and third. Francisco Cardullo in P4. Alejandro Tessitore in P5. William B. Graham in P6. Jack McCarthy in P7 with Claudio Buchanelli in P8. Mr. Tim Williams will come home in P9. Andrea L. Pizzetti in P10. Leslie Simpkins in P11. Vincenzo Stagnito in P12. Andrew Kenny in P13. Alejandro Girardin in P14. João Marquez in P15, Paolo Manetti in P16, Mark Richards in P17, Oscar Corbett in 18th, Massimo Leoli in P19th, Kevin Barre in 20th, Matthew Clark in P21st, Jack Clark rounding things off in P22, Michael Phipps in P23, Ashley Evans in 24th, Joel Liha in 25th, Nick Ewers in 26th, Mauro Gabbiati in 27th, Simone Darch in P28th, Mauro Codazzi in P29, Giovanni Marcotto Mercado, in 30th. MJ Reed in 31st. Simone Hutchings, Chris Carr, Mikhail Kleber, and Stephen Kodeman, William Ewart, Melvin Zurman, rounding out the 37 participants here tonight, folks. Now that is a beautiful screenshot for the Sausage Dodgers team. Under the Dunlop Bridge. But it was all this man's job, Noah Osbaldeston, to bring it home in P1, waiting for the winners to come down for an interview. Just waiting for the drivers to come down. Let's go ahead and get the replay loaded. Let's go back to the BRB screen while we get that going. Stand by, folks. We'll be right back for the winners interview as they come on down and come on through. We'll have them come on down and do so just in a second. Stand by. We'll be right back. Thank you very much, Mr. Kesterton. Really appreciate that. See if we can grab Noah Osbaldeston. We'll stand by 1 second. Noah, thank you very much for joining me in the booth and driving the number 38. Man, you had a hell of a drive tonight. Both races. Let's talk about race 1 first, shall we?
Great.
What happened going into the final chicane?
I'll be honest, I don't even know. Like, I just kind of was driving along, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm spinning. Great. That didn't happen for the previous 4 laps.
Just Porsche things, huh?
Yeah, I honestly just think the car just this lap decided to get unsettled. Might have been different with the fuel load, the way the bumps. I mean, to be fair, I did find the setup handled the bumps a little bit less comfortably when it had less fuel, but yeah, it's just one of those things really where just clumsy mistakes, bit of everything really, but it was no one else to blame but myself. And yeah, luckily I redeemed myself in race 2, but it's
Yes.
a bit of a disappointing way to throw away a clean sweep really. But yeah, so we'll just take it on board. I bought the car like 20 minutes before the session opened. So I think next time just doing a bit more practice and learning how the car works over bumps and things, just little things like that.
For sure.
But yeah, no, it was a decent race one.
Decent race one, commanding race two. Great battle though with Mark Richards, who unfortunately got a black flag in the pit lane. It looked like the driver of the number 420. Talk to us about that battle and kind of what was going through your head. You were slow on the straights. It looked like Mark Richards seemed to have the speed on you there. Where were you planning to get by Mark Richards?
I wasn't. I was planning on sitting behind him the entire race and fuel saving because I knew I thought I might get a penalty for an incident that happened in race two. So I thought, well, it's kind of difficult to win a race on pace here because if you're sort of stuck in the slipstream, it's very difficult to break it because these things are very, very toe sensitive.
Yes.
So I thought if I'm just going to stick behind Mark the entire time, not going to fight him, just play it tactical and save the fuel. And I ended up saving around about 6 to 8 seconds in the pits on certain people.
Wow.
Yes, so the fuel saving definitely helped me, and then from then on I could just kind of knuckle down, and then I could rely on the pace, my pace advantage on the rest of the field, from then onwards. So yeah, the gap just kind of expanded and expanded. So yeah, I kept it cool, and realistically, I probably should have driven race one like I did race two, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, man. That's great attitude to have. Sometimes that's just the way the racing goes. Anything can and will happen in motorsports, right? And sometimes that's just the way it goes. But recovery drive for P2 gone well for you. Started back in P6, ended up in P1. So looking forward to watching to see what you can perform to do at the Endurance Cup next, or at the Endurance League next. Coming up this Thursday at Daytona. Any preparation for that?
I mean, I built a setup, a little bit of a setup. There's been a little bit of testing going on. Nothing too extreme really, because the Daytona 24 iRacing special event is on this weekend, so a lot of focus has been onto that. Luckily, it is at the same circuit, so yeah, I think the preparation has been. It's not been a lot, but the preparation that have been done has been purposeful, and that's kind of the key to a successful race and to a successful driver plan, is even if you just do 20 minutes a day, as long as it's the most purposeful 20 minutes you can put towards on the simulator, that will get you a lot further than doing 2 hours a day of just pottering around, not really having any aim. So yeah, it's small but purposeful.
For sure, brother. For sure. Thank you very much, Noah, for joining us. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or anybody you'd like to shout out before I let you go?
Yeah, just want to thank Nova Motors Esports for again supplying me with a great setup. We're once again, I said it on last Thursday that we are the best team in Sausage Dodgers, and I still stand by that. Nova Motors Esports, we are still dominating. Mixture of series, and now with Formula SDR coming up, we've got a good Formula lineup of drivers coming in. With Christian Barker in the Endurance Series, looking to get a few more of the drivers into the series. So yeah, so once again, just proving that, and also thanks to my Wi-Fi for not cutting out. That was a great improvement from a league race I did yesterday. So huge shout out for Starlink for not cutting out on me, and yeah, hopefully next week in Porsche Cup, the race one goes a little bit more smoothly.
Right on, Noah. Thank you so much for joining us in the broadcast booth. Really appreciate it. Now you are unleashed. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
See ya. That is going to wrap things up for us here at the broadcast booth. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I am Saagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, taking you from green to checkered flag for this event, the Porsche Cup for the Sausage Dodgers on iRacing. Come join us on Thursday, same time, same place, for the Endurance Challenge that the Sausage Dodgers are hosting, season 4 of their Endurance League. It's an IMSA replica. We will be racing at Daytona. So come join us for some more action with the Sausage Dodgers. We've got a full action-packed grid there, close to 40, 50 drivers, if I'm not mistaken. It is crazy the number of people that they have participating. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe, ring the bell, get notified of when we go live next. It really helps us a lot. Really appreciate it. Again, it's been a pleasure to be your host. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. But for now, we have to go. Au revoir, c'est la vie. Till next time. And as always, please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.
Came in and you're looking like a sign of grace. I know, but I can never match your name to face my fault. But when I noticed it was far too late, you left a fingerprint on